What's going on, guys? It's Cheyenne here, and we're going to be doing a fluency philosophy freestyle. So, if you stutter and if you are a guy and you would like a little bit of direction, then plug in here and let's see if we can make some improvements. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about how we view ourselves. It is of my belief that it is nearly impossible to quote unquote change or to improve a lot of things about us, or to become more skillful, to have more skill in an area. So let's say you want to learn how to pitch, and to be able to improve your pitch every day, like a little bit, without having to start over and say, oh, my pitch, it was okay for 2 weeks and then it went back to the original pitch that I started with. That should not be happening. And it is of my belief that self-worth, or how we view ourselves, or self-love, or kindness to your self, is of the utmost important to improving. Because if you don't really care about yourself, if you're like, I'm kind of stupid, I'm kind of lame, like I'm not that awesome, then you won't be able to do anything awesome or cool or not lame. And if you haven't experienced anything that's cool or really awesome or like not lame, then you might have to put yourself through some hard stuff, and that way you can have a little bit of more confidence in yourself. So like if you have to put yourself in the woods for 2 days with only a pocket knife and like a match or a lighter, then that's what you got to do to come out and say, oh, I can make it in the woods if I get stuck in the woods. And you also can become really good friends with the night too, because when you're staying outside, you'll become best friends with the night. And because the moment you see that sun come up, that smile on your face, it cracks, baby. All right, so is self-love, and how does that apply to improving our speaking? So first, we need to see where we are at on the quote unquote self-love meter. For me, the easiest way for me to see where I'm at, there's two ways. The first way, and it applies to a lot of people because public speaking is one of the biggest things that people are scared of. So the first way to see how you feel about yourself, sounds kind of weird. You take a video of yourself. It doesn't really have to be talking, but speaking can help. It could just be like a home thing when you're hanging out with people, or just some kind of a video of yourself. You stand alone in the room when there's nobody there to speak to you, to tell you what to do do anything to you. And you just turn the video on and you watch the video and you pay attention to your feelings. Stop and pay attention to your feelings while you're watching yourself and say, what am I feeling right now? And if I was to describe the first time I watched myself, what I was feeling, it was like just every horrible word on the planet. So that automatically told me, hey, this is not normal. You're looking at your good self and you're literally like hating this person, okay? Well, first of all, you shouldn't have those kinds of feelings towards a person you love. Like there's no way that I would talk to my mom the same way I talk to myself. Like, she'd be like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, what happened to my son? He's like, he hates me? Okay, so why would I talk to myself so bad that if anybody else heard it, they would be like, dude, you all right, bro? Like, I wouldn't talk to my worst enemy. Like, well, maybe my worst enemy, but if I spoke this way to anybody that's not my worst enemy, they would be like, okay, I know you hate me, just like, we don't have to be together. But if that's you looking at you, that was my problem, because I was like, yeah, I hate you. I don't want to be together. How can I improve my speaking if I look at myself and I say, I hate you, I don't want to be with you anymore? It's literally impossible. It's totally the opposite of exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. Here's another example. Let's say you have a standard little, we'll call it a little, like accident, or this is a good one, because I feel like this has happened to a lot of people. So you get in a little bit of a fender bender, and it was an accident, and it was your fault. How do you talk to yourself after you had a little minor accident, like spilled the milk or broke a piece of glass, just a standard accident? What are the feelings that you experience right after you smash the glass? Oh shoot, I'm so dumb. Or what a coincidence, I didn't like that glass anyways, it was meant to be. Or, God, I always spill everything, I screw everything up. And that was my dialogue for many years. It was, oh, you suck, you screw everything up, and just, there was nothing positive in there at all. So how can I actually improve on a person I hate? It's not gonna happen. But the first thing I had to do was to identify how I see myself. And then I had to provide myself with the evidence that wasn't true. So I had to go experience stuff. I had to go get a wife, to have some kids, to start a business, to say, hey, I know you keep telling yourself you're like, you suck and you're a POS and like you're never gonna amount to much, but I don't really know who you're talking to, because the person you used to be talking to is not really there anymore. It's not the same guy you're talking to anymore. He's got a business, he's got a family, he doesn't really care about his little stutter anymore. Yes, he might stutter every now and then, but he ain't letting him hold him back. That's not the guy. You're talking to the wrong guy now, so let's change how we talk to this guy, please. Okay, that's fair enough. You're not like a god or anything, but yeah, you pushed me to the side and you kind of stepped over me, and I'm speaking like I'm the scared guy, and you pushed back a lot of your fears, and you still have a long way to go, but you're heading in the right direction. So hey, you know what? You are right. You do have a little courage, and you do have some persistence, and you do have a lot of skill and passion and empathy and courage and compassion and patience and persistence. Yeah. Sure, you have to cultivate it more. Sure, I haven't made it, but to say you haven't improved and to say you aren't pointing in the right direction is a lie. So why would you keep talking to yourself like you're a total POS when you would not speak to anyone in public like that? And it's not even true now. So are we gonna stay here forever? Well, I guess not. All right, well, you pick up your amazing little butt and get to work. Okay, fair enough. All right, so that is it. And then I, that's what I call almost like a course correction. It's like, okay, why am I hating myself? If I hate myself, if I don't like myself, who is gonna like me? Nobody. They are only gonna copy the way I treat myself. Maybe, if I get lucky, if the stars align, and it probably won't even happen, I might find a man who puts his arm around my shoulder and says, hey, you don't have to live this way anymore. Come follow me. Maybe. That never really happened to me, and it probably won't happen to you. I'm trying to be that guy for you, but it might not ever happen again. So you have to take personal responsibility, and I'm just talking to myself, like I'm not like screaming at you guys. This is just all for me because it's just a mirror. Like the camera is at me. I'm staring at myself. You, Cheyenne, have to take personal responsibility for everything that happened in your life, the past and the present and the future, because you are designing it, you're living it, you're creating it every day. Now, you don't have to cry about it. The past is the past. It's done. That's all your experiences. That's all your learning. It was totally for a good purpose. It was all meant to be. The past is beautiful. The past was meant to be. I do not regret any of it. It was meant to be. I love it. Now, let's move forward. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and always remember to never give up. Peace.